Hey, what it do, baby? Welcome to Vegeta Cinnamic. Thank you guys for liking, watching, and subscribing. So, finally, has Bandai done it? Finally, have they finally made a good fucking green deck? This whole time they've been sorry. The whole time they've been sorry. So, Team VSA, I'm here with Chris, the motherfucking OG. Say what's up, Chris.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, so today we were playing, we were fucking chilling, and this shit came out, and we were literally, that's funny because today we were playing with yellow decks, blue decks, red deck, black. We were playing with everything but a green deck because green is so sorry, and all of a sudden we get this leader released. So off the rip, everybody's wondering how good it is. I'm not gonna say one thing that me and Chris say is like we hate it when people go like, "Oh, this leader sucks," without seeing the rest of the set. Or it's like, oh, this leader's too broken, like without seeing the set. Or even the ban list coming out. So I think it's impossible to see like how good this leader is or how bad it is. Like, let's just say that off the rap, right? But I think it's fair to just judge it off like, what if it got put into this world right now in this meta with the current ban list, with the current, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what we're going to look at now. So take everything we say with a grain of salt, but off the rip, this looks pretty sick. On the front side, this Android 16 negates the energy exhaust. On Android 16, and cards with both Android and Scientist in all of your areas. Auto, when it's card attacks, it draws, which is great because he has draw on the back and the front side. The Awaken is if your life is at 4 or less, or you have 2 or more energy, and a green Scientist Z battle card with an energy cost of 1 in play. You can draw 1 card, switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode, and add cards from your life until you have 6 left. On the flip side, great. He still draws on the swing, which is really cool. Now, the permanent of the energy exhaust is gone now, but now there's a new permanent which reduces the energy cost of a card with both Android and Scientist with an energy cost of 4 in your hand by 2, meaning 1 colorless, 1 specified blue. This is sick. So the 4 drops become 2, and we'll go into that in a second. Then auto, when you play a Scientist, negate this card's permanent skill for the turn. So that Scientist that you're playing for 2 instead of 4, that's going to be the last. You can't just spam like 6 4 drops turn 6 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do it once and that's it. Activate battle. Use 1 of your Android 16 cards or cards with both Android and Scientist from your hand in a combo with its skills negated for the turn. So, all right. So just off the, again, without judging the set or the ban list coming out or the cards in it. Also, you have to remember, usually when it's a pre-release leader, right? This guy's a pre-release, right, Chris?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Usually, sometimes, like Mecha Frieza, that was a pre-release leader, that didn't get any cards from the set. That set got its own set for yellow cards. I think, I could be wrong. I think it was Icarus and Garlic Jr. or whatever. And there were no, like, Mecha Frieza cards in the set. You just built the deck from what was already in the game. So it might just be that this deck is what you're looking at right now, right? So if that's the case, we could build this deck right now. It may not be, so I'm not going to say anything written in stone. Another important part is the card that comes with it. Now, this will be free for anybody that just goes to pre-release. So we're all going to have access to this. The 1-drop Dr. Gero, which I think is super broken. Deflect Barrier 1-drop for 1 Z energy. Now they have a Vegeta Z card for green. This is so sick. You add 1 card from your life to your hand and place 1 green card from your hand at the bottom of your deck and then draw a card. So this is surmounting for green. I mean, they could always play it, but you know what I mean. Activate main for a blue and a green. If your leader card is an Android 16, created by Gero, play up to 1 blue Android with an energy cost of 4 or less from under this card, negating its keyword skills for the turn. And you can't play cards from your deck for the rest of the game. That last part, I don't understand. Maybe the set will show us that, but that's sick. Turn 2, you get to tap 2 and play the Ramp Girl. What's her name, Chris?
It's in the name of hunger.
Yeah, so you play her and ramp like on turn 2. That's so sick. And then he's the guy that makes you awaken on your leader side. So off the rip, what I love about this leader, like, and Chris is going to talk about all the cat battle cards that you can play with it. But I just love that finally Green's getting a leader that that is decent or like that is slightly generic too. I don't know why people are mad that Androids are getting support. Like I've seen comments about like, bro, it's fine. Like, what do you mean? Like, all we gotta say in support as well. Like, just let Androids have their fun. I usually don't play Androids, but I love that this leader can have the energy exhaust early on. And for those of you complaining that you don't keep the energy exhaust in the future, I feel like I only want that energy exhaust in the first couple turns because I want to keep my blue green cards in hand. Because basically, they're just super combos on the backside. On the backside, they don't have a combo cost. So I just have a bunch of 10Ks that are just free. Bro, so like if I have 8 cards in hand and you have 12, I probably have more combo power than you do. You know what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
saying that this isn't going to run into some problems with like continuity or consistency in your deck, or if you want to see what you want to have because you're running too many androids. Whatever, I don't know, but whatever. You're running 10Ks, bro, that are free. And it's an activate battle that's not once per turn. This is important to remember. Um, and so, Chris, what is there anything off the top of your head that you're thinking that people are saying it's bad about this leader that you think is an overreaction, or that the people are saying that is good about the leader that is an overreaction? Anything that comes to you right off the bat?
So one point that I saw is that like even though you're free comboing 10Ks, at the end of the day, you're still just comboing 10Ks. But it's like the really good point you bring up where it's like if you have like three more cards than me, but I have a bunch of 10Ks, realistically, how much more combo power do you have over me?
Right. Yeah,
Like it's
exactly.
a like that's one of the biggest factors of it, and it's also makes it so rivaling is a lot easier because since this is a 16 and you have access to the other guys, you can free combo your blue green multicolors to set up your rivals easier.
And it's funny because we talked about this the other day too about like why don't you play 16? Because we were talking about the meta and gamma, and I forget who you said this or someone said it, where the old Android 16 deck, while still good, doesn't feel as good without the blue unison because it
Yeah,
doesn't draw on the other side.
yeah. I heard this from Eggman, who allegedly heard it from Jared.
Yeah.
Basically, like the deck, I played the deck for Nats, and you can feel the quality difference when Bunison's on board for the game and when it's not on board. And having it only be a one of makes it really hard because you're probably not going to see it a lot. So the deck feels way weaker.
And I wonder if I prefer, and I'm not being biased. Again, I don't play that. You took it to Nats. I don't play the deck. But I wonder what I prefer. A leader that combos for free from the drop once a turn or whatever, or a leader that just lets me combo the 10Ks for free forever. Because it's not like it's also not like for the leaders. I'm pretty sure that there's decks like Cooler or Dark Broly or something. I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure there's effects in the game already that say make this card combo easier or cheaper if it's used on a combo from the leader attack. And this is not saying that. This is saying all the time activate battle. It could be on a unison, it could be on a battle card, it could be on a Z battle card, it could be on a leader, it could be on your mama. Like anytime you combo, it'll be a free combo if it meets that requirement, which it will because we have plenty of Android and scientists and 16s, whatever. So I think I'd rather have this because my hand just seems fatter than that one combo. And one thing we were also talking about is like you get that one ramp. People were being very greedy with the 4 drops that they were thinking about. I think you just need that one ramp for the Z stack from that Z battle card, right? You get that one ramp, and then you can like turn 3. You can play, for example, what were we talking about? We're talking about the Majin Vegeta Unison, the
Yeah,
green.
Majin Vegeta Unison on your turn three, which is your opponent's two energy.
Yeah, and then you play this double strike critical 20K that wipes the board ignoring barrier, and you can just swing for that shit.
And
Like,
it's a four drop unison, so your
yeah,
opponent's
dude,
not like getting rid of that thing easily.
100%. Or you can play, or we were talking about like let's get less greedy and more greedy in a way, and just play the 3 drop cooler, where you're dropping a card, drawing 2, and playing a token. Where now you're playing And then, like you're just adding two cards to your hand every turn and dropping. I don't know if you can drop an extra card with that unison,
It
but
says drop any card in your hand.
any card. So you can drop an extra card, draw two 10Ks that are just super combos now. So your hand can get
Exactly.
huge. And I mean, Eternal Avoid, two drop, because we're thinking about Piccolo. Like, we're thinking about, like, what if we draw a lot? You know what I mean? So Piccolo two drop, but that can get outed pretty
I
easily now.
I
Like,
100% agree with you that if you want to avoid Black Smoke, Meta Cooler is easily one of the best options.
yeah.
Being the fact that you play it on your turn 3 with 4 energy, so you actually don't tap out. You have 1 energy up still.
Yeah, and then you have Green Dormant, you have Charismatic, and we're like, so this, like, I don't know. Again, off rip, just looking at it, I think it's great. I want to hear you guys' opinions, like at home. What makes it bad to you? What makes it good? We're gonna go over a lot more things, but I do want to keep the discussion going because I do think the leader's extremely good, and I'm so happy Bandai. Just give a second right now to just talk about Bandai because it felt there's a joke right now of like there's a designer for each color and like the red one, the yellow one, the blue one, and the black one are just like these Einstein, like Benedict Cumberbatch types with the fucking coats and shit, creating some amazing creations. And then the one that creates the green cards, that developer is like a guy from fucking Trailer Park Boys and shit, like some retard that can't like, because that's what it feels like. It feels like green decks have these like overworded, overcomplicated restrictions that don't make any sense. In yellow, it's like tap one, rest two things, draw a card, KO that, it's double strike. In green, it's like draw a card, if your leader's an android and you have a Saiyan on board that's three or less, and your opponent has two or less energy. And I'm like, bro, what's up with these? Like, the requirements are just silly. And it's like you can see it in the Beerus and Champa leader. You can see it in the new Goku leader that just came out, the DSS4 green one. Like, I'm playing, we're testing that. And I'm like, even Alex from our team, the guy that made like Android 13 great, who's making Red Ribbon great. But guess what? That's a red and a blue leader, dude. He's working with green sack, and he's just like sweating, dude. He's like, he can't do it. If Alex can't do it, look, I'm not too. I am I joke about it, but I'm truly like, I am a humble king. But if I am to brag about something, is about my friend Alex and how good he is at, and I'm proud to have him on our team. I think we all have something to bring to the table. But Alex can make the worst decks good. Okay? And it's proven. He's one of the best players in the team. And he does that. And the guy does it with shitty decks. But you give him a green deck and he's just sweating, like wiping the sweat off his forehead because he fucking can't like get through how bad the decks are. So I'm glad this leader, again, at face value, looks really good.
A
Um,
really broken part about this deck,
yeah.
and I think it's one of the greatest things about it, is you are going to guaranteed like get your ramp off.
Oh yeah.
Like, the only solution I see is if you lose Dyral and they play a counterplay that kills a 4 or less. But how many decks have that on them?
Yeah,
Like,
it's such a like it's such a I remember this argument of like, oh, if I'm a storm deck like 4 years ago and they play BR Goku, like how good is my deck gonna be if I play like barrier removal turn one and they made your deck into shit? I know this is super specific, but it reminds me of that argument, of like, but this isn't like meta defining, so it's not the same thing at all. But it's funny when you think about people answering something specific turn one, and they're not gonna, bro. Like, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna get this ramp off. It's deflect and barrier. I mean, maybe some interactions might happen, but
yeah,
I
but
don't
like
think. Yeah,
if you went Dyral, nah, you got your ramp. Like
yeah, no, 100%. I
it's
mean, yeah,
it's like guaranteed, which is like
yeah.
really insane because like you see like 21 matchups, people are like citing very specific cards or good cards in general into 21 to stop the ramp. But this thing is like, oh, I won Dyral. Well, looks like you're playing against me at 4 energy then. Like,
Yeah, and it's such a specific, like, they did such a good job of designing the Dr. Giro because they know what card you're Z stacking. They know you're putting the 21 under there. They know you're ramping. And one thing
yeah.
that Chris and I were talking about is like, are we really, are we getting greedy and ramping a couple of times and restricting ourselves of 30 to 35Ks? Or are we just getting one ramp? You know what I'm saying? So this is where you guys come in, where you guys think to yourselves like, do we have some sort of crazy finisher that we were racing to get to, or do we just want to like out advantage our opponent by ramping one time? And like if you win the die roll, you have a huge advantage, right? Like if you're on the play and you just Dr. Giroux turn two or turn one or whatever, I mean it's like it's a wrap.
It's a turn two play, yeah.
It's no, yeah, well, but you know what I meant. I meant like
Yeah, I know
yeah.
what you mean.
So because they're gonna if they don't swing at you, I guess that's one thing they can do. I don't know, but so one thing we were looking at as far as the cards that you can play, Android 21 full power counter is one of the craziest cards. Everything like it's now a 2-drop in his deck. So it's a double strike counter attack. And when this card is played, you're gonna ignore barrier and place a card on the drop area, and your opponent can attack with non-leader attacks for the turn unless they uh, place one of their hand and Z energy in the drop area each time. This is pretty good for a fucking 25k double striker. That's gonna be a
That
two
you
drop.
playing for 2 energy, and
Yeah,
like we talked about, where like some decks don't have Z energy. Like some decks maybe they spend their Z energy to play a guy, and then you are counter.
yeah. This is hilarious for decks that like struggle with Z. Like you know how red is so sparing with like they have so much Z energy. That's funny that red has a lot of Z, but whatever. But it's like you do that to like yellow, it's like, all right, forget it. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm in yellow, I'm always juggling. Like, do I Z Awaken? Or do I leave 2Z for Vegito? Or do I get a Z for Oolong? You know, like, I'm always just like using my Z energy like it's my last fucking grain of rice to feed my family with. And like, I don't know. Like, and it's also a permanent. It's not like activate main, tap two, play a 4-drop. No, it's permanent. So it works on the cards like this negate. What was I gonna say? So yeah, full power counter. The SCR is another one. The transgender predator, transcendental
Transcendent Predator.
transcendent
That's a
predator.
good one though. Write that one down.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys know what it does. It's blue. It's a dual attack blocker. It's a 2-drop in his deck as well. I mean, you can play this one. Do you think this is the play, or do they play like Celzino or
Dude,
fucking?
I don't know, bro. Dude, everyone's already seeing how broken it is in 21 when you tap 2 to clear their board. In Gamma, they're tapping 4 for this, but they untap 3. So now they make a second deck that can not only play it like for 2 energy, board wide, rejuvenate in green. So like
Yeah,
now like it's like now they have to we're grinding, so you're gonna keep losing cards because you're playing generic green cards that hand control. And greatest part, a blocker that has protection, so your dormants
yeah,
hit even harder.
yeah. It is a 4-drop, which we've seen ways where like we've been using like Trunks Unison or like Duo to like kind of out this card a little bit. But besides that, like the card is fucking busted the way it's been working.
Rejuvenating is one of the most broken effects you can do in this game.
Yeah, honestly, and it's like it's kind of scarce. Like the way, luckily, they we can't use it as much. But so another one we're looking at is Beautiful Scientist, so we can use with this effect. But like again, you're locking yourself to 30 to 35. So ask yourselves when you build this deck, are you going to build it with what bombs are you doing? And you and I were looking at some bombs in green. Green isn't the best bomb color. Well, it's not the best any type of color, but it does have access. Woo! But like it does have a couple of great 5-drops, some good 4-drops that we can look for. But I think the deck is just going to be mainly blue green. I don't think I'm using any blue cards, so the ramp isn't going to get fucked up. I think the only mono blue card I'm looking at is just Sensu Bean defensively. You
Yeah.
can tap out. You can tap 5 in this deck because you do have a blue green super combo that untaps the energy. You do have Sensu Bean defensively. Um, I was gonna say Baby Hatch. I keep forgetting that this isn't a blue deck, dude. It's funny because
It's too good. It's like,
yeah,
well, am I reading? Am I reading? It's a green
yeah.
leader.
We were talking about how good this deck is, and you said this is the funniest fuck thing you said. You were like, Bandai figured out how to make a green deck good. Oh, just make it blue. Like it's fucking, but it's so true, dude. Like that's all they did. It's just
Put
made
some
it.
blue cards in there and they
Yeah.
fixed it. Like,
So is there anything else? Anything that comes to mind? Because I was reading so many comments about what makes this deck good or bad. And I was like, some of them were great points, some of them were just not good points. Like people talking about oh, but if you want to play a cantrip scientist that comes out the set, then you can't play the finisher because it's once per turn. I'm like, or like I heard like, oh, but they're susceptible to like counter plays because my 4-drop is now gonna get like my 4-drop. Beautiful scientist is gonna get like counterplayed. Now you can get counterplayed by like fucking, I don't know, Tyrannical Blow or some shit because you're so cheap. And I'm like, yeah, what? So you're upset that your really expensive card is getting played for cheap? Yeah, I mean that's part of the game, you know. Like I don't want to hear the blue green Android player complaining about too many counterplays. I don't want to hear that shit. That's what I don't fucking want to hear. I don't want to fucking hear that shit. But anything that comes to mind, Chris, that from the community that maybe we can stop panicking about?
Um, Stop saying the leader's bad just because it's green.
Yeah,
I've seen
but
people
that's
be like,
obvious. Yeah,
I've seen people like, oh, it's a green
yeah.
leader. It's like, oh, the leader stops check landing on the backside. Oh, green leader syndrome, and it's like, yeah, that's like stuff you can nitpick out of the deck. But like, how about we like nitpick the good things?
No, but good point. Okay, like okay, you know what though? Let me check myself though, because
Checkmate.
that is a point. That is a point. It's fucking infuriating. Look,
Yeah,
if you said that, I'm gonna level with you, and I'm not gonna say agree, but I'm gonna like say that I understand where you're coming from, because it is fucked
yeah,
up when when there's 5 people and each of them get an ice cream cone with fucking cherry on top and the sprinkles, and the oh, I'm gonna fucking sneeze. I almost sneezed. And the last guy gets a fucking like protein bar. I'm like, get the fuck
yeah,
out of here! Give me my fucking ice cream. And it's like, how come you're giving these people the flowers and I'm not getting my flowers? Like, where's my shit at?
yeah. I mean,
So I
I
get that
agree.
mentality,
I'd love to
especially when it's
check
a
land. I'd love to check land. Trust me.
yeah,
But like we talked about like 5 minutes ago, free 10Ks in your hand.
exactly. So so like the comparison with that against SS4, the black
I mean,
SS4 deck. Well, that black SS4 deck isn't comboing 05Ks for free. It's comboing zero. I'm sorry, they're not comboing 10Ks for free. They're comboing 05Ks.
they have
Those
one that can do it for free. They see that's the thing.
yeah, but
They
that's
have
what the super
one.
combo.
They,
What?
no, they have the 8-drop Gogeta, so it's like cool. They
Okay,
can
fair.
combo
It's
4 cards,
one.
but we can combo what
Yeah,
20 cards? Like,
yeah. So it's like I mean, and look, and to be fair, I don't think I would want to keep Z charging my because they're super combos. Now,
yeah,
if they didn't give me the permanent to combo my 10Ks for free, then yeah, I'd be a little pissed off. But like, I feel like if I can combo my 10Ks for free, I'm not charging them after turn 2. I want 2 of them in the energy because I want to be able to use my blue energy. But that's it, dude. I think my deck is going to be green for the most part. I could be wrong. I don't know. But this again, this off the top of my head, top of the noodle. You have access if you get a unison going. That's a 3-drop. I may just play an Android for the first time in ever. I don't think I've ever played an Android leader. I could be
oh
wrong, but I
man.
don't think I've ever.
I,
Yeah,
I I was yeah. This leader looks cool. So there's another spice we can run. It
yeah,
is a mono blue color, so like this is unfortunate, but it is
fine.
the Android 18 counterplay because since we are an Android leader,
Hmm.
she only says if you have a unison in play with a specified cost of 2 or more,
Yeah,
she is a 1-drop blue energy.
yeah,
And since we are playing multicolors, having the ability to counterplay 4 or lesses, make a blocker, and still have charismatic live after they play something else
yeah.
is insane.
And you have like so we can look at the advantages and disadvantages. Where like he has no like like baby hatch. I mean that's one small example. You can't use some of the blue cards that you want to use, right? Or something like for example, like what is that negate called?
Can't you
Defender,
okay? You can't
the
defender.
17,
You can't defending
Defender of
friends. You
Friends.
can't D magic. You
Yeah,
can't like.
but
There's a couple examples.
but now this is a new deck. Where okay, how good is Dormant in this? You never thought about that before, right? You've never experienced what if Gamma had like fucking charismatic. Like you know what I mean? Like, fucking,
I don't want to.
and this is what we have now. I'm not saying this is better or worse because they did have Godsteel. So like I don't, I'm not, I'm just saying like it is what we have now, and fuck, that's fun to explore. It's definitely powerful. No one ever said Dormant was bad. I mean, I think there was a set or two where Dormant wasn't exactly the greatest in the meta. There was a set or two where like Clone Negates were just better, but don't that doesn't mean that it's not great. Like the clone negates in green are better than the ones in blue, in my opinion. Like I like the combo.
You know what else we have? We have
Yeah.
Champa.
Oh yeah, that's another thing people were thinking about. Like that chop. I mean, that works on any green android, including the leader. And guess what? You're gonna have like 100,000 combo
Yeah,
power in your
it
hand to
is.
use.
Yeah, like they let they're 2 life, and you're spending a green android. They have to not only worry about Champa, but all the 10Ks you've been holding all game.
Yeah, man. Is
Like
there a counter in green or blue?
there is a counter in blue, the Goku Black, which and the Golden Avenger,
Oh, they're
and
blue,
then
blue, blue, blue,
in
blue, blue.
green there's the SCR counter,
Oh my
the green
god, the
one.
boo! You're right.
Yeah,
He's like 3 green. Oh my
yeah.
god, that's sick. I
Which,
love that SCR.
yeah, I mean, hey, in a ramp deck,
Yeah,
there could be a small argument for it. You could even the only problem with Golden and Goku Black is that they're 5-tap blue, so it's like you
dude,
need
fuck
five
that. Just
multicolor.
play the boo
Yeah.
SCR. That's a heater.
Yeah. Hey man, if you can afford 21 SCR but you have boost SCR lying around, I genuinely think that's just as
Yeah,
good of an option.
yeah, 100%. I mean, I might play
Not like
Carnage.
not on the level of a board like rejuvenate, but like holy
Yeah.
smokes, bro. Champa on a counter?
I mean, it depends what game state you're doing. It depends what your game style is, and it depends what your board is, who your opponent
Yeah.
is. Like sometimes, like Cell Xeno is just dead in your hand. Sometimes it isn't. You know, it depends who you're playing against. Like against some
Yeah.
decks, yeah, it's the bee's knees. But like, so let me know if you guys. I can't think of anything else, but this,
I've got a couple more.
yeah, hit me with
So
them.
we got the new SR that came on the deck, the in for Warpku, the Goku and 18. The cost to play it is tap 2 if you have 3 more energy and a green Z battle card. And because Jiro is a barrier green Z card, it actually will stick around, meaning that
Yeah.
you can play this card that says on swing, your opponent either kills a unison with a cost of 3 or less, or they discard one
So
on a 20k dual
yeah,
attacker.
dude, that card's so fucking good. But it's like
Yeah,
it sucks because you can only play it in a few type of like. The restriction was a bit too much for it. And you
yeah.
know what? That
Now we have the
reminds
deck.
me. Yeah, this is it. This is the deck for it. But this reminds me of like I think the yellow negate, meta cooler clan of terror. I think that's what it's called. The new negate for yellow.
Infinite terror.
Yeah.
Infinite terror, yeah.
So it's a 2-drop negate. That's free. It gets 5k in barrier with bond 1, but it's a free negate if you have a Z card in play or if you're a Z leader, right? And it's like I wonder what because we just don't. I just don't go through the green library to look for good cards. So I wonder if green has a card like that.
They, from what my experience, no, but so far we've seen in set one of Zenkai and now set 3 TPs is that blue got a card that relies on Z energy and the yellow got one. So how long till red and yellow and
Right.
green and
And
black
green
get
get it,
one?
yeah. Because I remember like today we were testing and like I think it was you or Kavir who like weren't Z awakened, but they had Sormanting or whatever, so they were able to like
Yeah,
cooler
that,
negate.
that was a fun game into Ross. Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
Ross.
surmounting, then he did it out, and it's like cool and again. I'm like,
Awesome. Yeah. People just leave Surmounting on board. And the fact that now it's a green card is sweet.
yeah, a surmounting with deflect and barrier. Like you can play one late game if you need to rip the life, and it's genuinely amazing that it's deflect. Like
Yeah,
you
I
know, I
know.
have the
That's
guarantee.
so sick. I love this deck. So what else? Do we have anything else that we were thinking about? Because we had so many thoughts through the
Yes,
day.
if you want to get Saki, you're playing ramp. Let's play Hope for Universe 7. Come on, man, you know you want to do it.
Dude, is that the one that I was talking about? Or oh no, which one's
No,
Hope for Unit 7?
that's
Oh, the
the
7
triple
drop?
attack. The triple attack crit UI
Yeah,
goes.
you're one of. Yeah, you're one of. Yeah, no. I don't think
Hey,
so,
bro,
but it is sick though.
come on, man. You know you want to do it.
Yeah, I do want to do. I love that card. That's one of my favorite cards that I never got to use.
But besides that, no, I mean a lot of those cards we talked about are really good for the deck, and
Yeah.
I'm excited because they said more reveals are coming, and there's a high chance that there's probably a green deck in the set that it might have Android cards for 16.
Yeah, and it's also like this checks yellow so well, and I play yellow, so I should be mad about it. But like yellow is such a color that if left unchecked, it's just annoying. And I'm not because I'm the one doing it. But like with Slug on board and Poutine and Trunks and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Z card and then Nelson Shenron, and it's like. And you're playing this against blue and red, and you're just like, man, what checks this? And then we always say the same. We laugh and say green, but who the fuck's playing green, right? Well, now you have a good deck that can use these tools. Like now you can play the Goku Piccolo duo. What are they called? The barrier removal.
The faded
Faded
rivals.
Rivals. There we go. Yeah, that card. You can play that. You can play so many things that it's like, oh my god, I didn't know these cards remove barrier. These cards are good. They just never had a good leader to make them shine. And
You also have
now,
the Brienne TP.
yeah, the Brienne TP that we're talking about. We were also we've been looking through crazy cards. We're looking through 5-drop Slug. We were looking through Brienne 5-drop. We were looking through like it's so much shit. The drawing, discard, and it's great to be excited about green again. Is there anything else we were thinking about? We made a list. We've been fucking talking about this leader all day.
Yeah, I mean, like just like fun green bombs, like the Kid Buu and like Maj and Vegeta Unison,
Oh
and it's
yeah, the
like,
Kid Buu. Yeah, the Majin Vegeta Unison. We can play that early as fuck. The Kid
dude,
Buu's hilarious. That card's
dude, I
awesome.
think in some decks it's just a win con to have that too early. Like, how many decks can deal with double strike crit that early?
Yeah, yeah, and it's
Like,
something we saw in Cell Xeno with. I mean, this is a different scenario, but with Hope Universe 7, and you take crit too early, it's like, what are you gonna do about it? You know. But yeah, so we'll see if you guys build it with hand control, with drawing. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like it. Let me know if we're wrong. Like, you know, it's an opinion. Let me know if you guys think it's sacky. If you guys think it's bad, if it's good, let us know. It's fun to talk about. It's fun. It's fun to talk about this shit, especially on a color that's been the laughing stock. Now, hey, I'm not saying it's like I said, take this with a grain of salt. We don't know what the ban list is going to look like. Dude, do I put it past Bandai to not like, dude, they might just ban like charismatic and fucking dormant. I can 100% Bandai doing this. It is green. I don't trust Bandai. Like they can, Bandai might just be baiting us. Bandai just be like, let's make them think we're releasing a good green deck, and then they just ban the Jiro double strike. They ban dormant. They ban the like, who knows? But as of right now, off rip, it looks pretty good. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are thinking about in the deck. Bring the discussion down below and we'll join in there. I hope it's good because it looks real fun and it's definitely good for the game. Some shit in the game only gets checked by green for the most part, and it's good to have a green deck out there. So pretty fun.